What else do we know about Zuma? Zuma is a U.S. government payload. Aerospace and defense company Northrop Grumman has confirmed that it procured Zuma's launch atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket for the U.S. government, but it's unclear which agency is in charge of the Zuma project. Such secrecy is atypical. Even if Zuma happens to be a sensitive national security satellite, and we don't know that it is, Northrop Grumman has simply described Zuma as a restricted payload. For example, SpaceX has 2 national security launches under its belt, and in both cases, basic details about the mission were announced. One flight, in May 2017, lofted a satellite for the National Recon Office, which builds and operates the nation's fleet of spy satellites. The other, which launched in September, launched the robotic X-37B spaceplane for the U.S. Air Force. This is a decent article. One thing SpaceX has announced is the launch window for Zuma. The payload will launch sometime during a 2-hour window that opens at 8 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This suggests that getting Zuma to its destined orbit does not require the instantaneous launch window some satellites and spacecraft have needed in the past. So SpaceX may have some flexibility to handle any simple glitches or temporary weather issues that pop up late in the countdown. Space.com, great resource. And then basically there's, I'm just going to read some headlines real quick because I'd like to get this out there. This curious Zuma payload. What is Zuma? Mystery surrounds the payload SpaceX is launching. And this article's been updated as well. And this one was posted January 5th. SpaceX delays mysterious Zuma spacecraft launch to Sunday. Newsweek. This was posted Saturday, yesterday as well. SpaceX, will Falcon 9 Zuma and its secret government payload ever take off? Question mark. And this is thedrive.com. SpaceX is about to launch a mysterious Northrop Grumman spacecraft called Zuma. Space launch firm SpaceX is preparing to boost a Northrop Grumman spacecraft, codenamed Zuma, into low Earth orbit from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. But what the payload actually is, what it's supposed to do, and for how long, and what U.S. government agency or agencies are involved in the project all remain a mystery. SpaceX originally scheduled the Zuma launch aboard one of its partially reusable Falcon 9 rockets for November 15, 2017, but delayed the mission a day for unspecified reasons. According to its website, the California headquartered firm says there are 2 additional backup launch windows on November 17th and November 18th, 2017. Both Falcon 9 and the payload remain healthy, a SpaceX spokesperson told Space.com. Teams will use the extra day to conduct some additional mission assurance work in advance of the launch. The launch itself, after blasting off from Launch Complex 39A, which it sounds like that's changed again, at the Kennedy Space Center, and putting the craft into orbit, the reusable Falcon 9 booster will attempt a landing at SpaceX's Landing Zone 1 at the U.S. Air Force's Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, also in Florida. www.express.co.uk, Sunday Express. Top secret U.S. satellite launched by SpaceX aims to send unknown group mystery messages. Really? SpaceX are to launch a top-secret satellite codenamed Project Zuma this Friday, the U.S. Air Force confirmed. The mysterious project will see the private space agency launch the satellite, allowing an unnamed government organization to send messages or take photos. One of the few scraps of information currently available has revealed Zuma will enter into a low Earth Low orbit around Earth. What the orbiter's mission is and who will be operating is unknown, with U.S. authorities so far refusing to release any more information. The satellite... That doesn't make sense. The satellite will launch on SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The launch was first penciled in for the middle of November, but was eventually pushed back to SpaceX so SpaceX could analyze their data for a previous launch. For a previous launch? It doesn't make sense. The launch was first penciled in for the middle of November, but was eventually pushed back so SpaceX could analyze their data for a previous launch. As one Falcon 9 will leave, as another returns, with a rocket also landing on Friday. Again, this is a few days old, before they postponed it. SpaceX will launch the mission from the Kennedy Space Center between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Elon Musk's firm has carried out government missions before, but never as secretive, period. News of the mysterious satellite comes after SpaceX program was revealed to be planning to send a Telsa to Mars. I think they meant to say Tesla, but that says Telsa. Because then it goes on to say, the car will reportedly be playing David Bowie's Space Oddity on a loop. The billionaire businessman took to social media to announce that he will send a Tesla, there you go, got it right that time, to Mars. Mr. Musk announced on Twitter that he will be sending a cherry Tesla Roadster to orbit Mars, playing David Bowie's Space Oddity on repeat. Right now we have 34 minutes and 34 seconds left till launch, so I'll see if I can get this uploaded. Have a great night. Entirely routine.